So, my dear Sagittarius, the sun is in Virgo, and Virgo is giving the light to the moon, which is today in your sign. And so we have the 9th major arcana, the 14th major arcana. Calculated together, we get the 23, the 5. The 14, if I calculate it together, I also get a 5. So no matter what, I will get a 5 because the 9 as a number gives itself up. And that's also what Virgo does. Virgo is the Hermit. Virgo has liberated itself out of the 4, which is the Emperor, which is Aries, and the 5, which is the High Priest or the Hierophant, and that's Taurus. The two patriarchs, right, that have controlling us for the last quite thousands of years. And Virgo stands by itself and shows that I have overcome these kind of controlling energies, and I am creating my own crowning from deep within, from the knowledge that comes that I am born again and again. And in this lantern we see a newborn child, and that's what it's all about, right? You are the blending. You blending constantly back and forth, the 2 cups. And as Temperance, it's that message to understand you, the guardian angel. You are connected with the masculine and the feminine, and you are neutral in the end. And the 5 is here the Hierophant, right? That's what we get when we calculate your number together. Now in the 23 there is the last judgment, which is in the tarot Pluto. Pluto has just moved back into Capricorn and is showing us what do we really not want from that time, and don't want to bring it back into the new age, which is Pluto in Aquarius. And Aquarius is of course the new age. It's kind of like the age of Aquarius, the song, right, from Hair. So here we have, of course, then Mercury ruling Virgo. Mercury in the tarot is the magician. And so the magician is quite powerful. You are ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the Wheel of Fortune, right? And so the tarot is telling us very clearly when we see these cards what they really mean. Now, the moon is your feelings, or are your feelings, right? There are multiple feelings sometimes coming up, and your subconscious. So understand that when Virgo, which is now the sun in, right, is your beingness, your light that you're exuding here through Luca Pacioli, a mathematician, a genius, who is literally letting you know you can do it. You can become your own entity that is not dependent on any structure. And so here in your subconscious, you're going to see what that is going to tell you. So we're going to look at the Wheel of Fortune as a station, and then we're going to look, of course, at here the blending as a station. Then we have the moon, of course, and the sun, and you as a court card. Now, really quickly, the yoga position here is mountain pose. Virgo is back up at the mountain and is actually letting us know we can do it, right? Because being back up at the mountain, that's where the Fool started, and the Fool in the tarot is Uranus. Uranus is the revolution. I gave you Paschimottanasana, the forward bend, finding deep within your angelic nature through the chakras, right? And so here we have just this combination, and we can create a whole story here. Here as a court card, you're the Knight of Wands and you are an eagle. Is your birthday between November 13 and December 11, then is this your court card. And as an eagle, you're flying to the right when you look at the card. When you become the card, you see that you're flying to the left. Whatever you do in the outer world is feeding your soul. Whatever you do to feed your soul, you can live outside and show how majestic you are. You're the 9th zodiac sign and as such connected with the 9th house of learning and believing. And we see the chakras here again. And so as Sagittarius, as the number 9 here in the court card, you are the one that wants to discover the world. And you see how the arrow is going to the right. But deep within, you know it's going deep within, right? And so beautiful, right? You are understanding clearly how strong these cards are literally talking to you. If your birthday is not between the dates that I just mentioned, then please look in the description below. I have listed all the court cards there, and you can have a look and see if it actually is the card before or after. Now back to the last reading where we had Leo Sun giving Sagittarius Moon the light. We had 2 times the 9 of Wands, points at the struggles you were able to overcome. And so I have all the cards here in the front and I can see if there is a reoccurring card coming up. And as such, I understand very clearly, oh, there is something speaking to you again. And I see already 1, 2 cards that are coming back. And I think a 3rd card is coming back. Very interesting, right? And so we're gonna, of course, look at that. Now, before we start the reading, I want to introduce you to a new deck that I have gotten as a gift. And it's the star seeds. Now here are the star people, and this is Austrian woman who channels these entities, these energies since her childhood, and she created this deck. And so at first I didn't want to include it in the reading because it was a little out there, but then in the end the cards talked very clearly from the beginning when I started Aries. And Aries is the 1st zodiac sign, is your head. It was literally like a message that said, we want to be in the reading. And so I picked a card for you and you got Ashtar Sharan. Now look at the card and see how it makes you feel when you look at it. Sometimes we recognize this is not a message for me. Listen to it, right? And sometimes we immediately notice, oh boy, yes, this is a message for me. So I'm gonna read to you parts of here in this book to you. I cannot read all of it, otherwise it takes too long. Ashtar Sharan are your protector from a time where you're going through a lot of trouble. So these are the protector and the keeper of a big war where a lot of missing children were in the universe and were lost, and they were the ones who were searching for them. So here we see that they are here to liberate these children. But when this card appears, it means that they're here to protect you, that they're here to help you to recognize that there is a spiritual team that is standing on your side when you're going through what you're going through. So remember this protective feeling that these people bring to you, and that you are now able to take your first step into liberty. Also know that when you trust these people, that they are here to guide you to where you're going to be the freest being of this world. Okay, so these are, we could call them aliens, right? Extraterrestrials, because what are star people? We are star people, right? The humans are part of the star people, and so we are gonna look at the reading. And remember, today is a very specific date. It's 9/11, and it was a difficult time, right, back then when the Twin Towers came down. And I was doing this morning the German reading, and it kept constantly coming up, 9/11, 9/11. And for some reason, I wasn't associating it with the Twin Towers. After, I was like, oh my God, why didn't I recognize the message, right? But here in Germany, it's different. But now I do your reading, and I just want to let you know that that was the message that kept coming. So we begin with the eagle, the totem of pipes, right? And so the number 9 plus the 5 is the 14, and that's you. You are seeing here that the 5 is bringing you a very clear message. And this message is saying this Mars in Scorpio energy, right? The 5/5 in a way, because the 9 gives itself up, is something that is telling you become creative in the way you are working with your emotions, because you are blending here these 2 cups, right? And you are the angel. And so here the 5 is left. And this is Mars in Scorpio. And Scorpio are deep feelings that have been hurt because someone has left. Either you have left, or someone has left you, right? You know the answer. And so the 5 is left from the 14. Also remember, when we calculate here the 14 plus the 9, we get the 23, the 5 is left, right? Or again here, the 14 is a 5, the 5 and the 9 is the 14, and the 5 is left. Just that you know this is your combination, right? Of course, if you're different court cards, the card before or after, you will find the dates down below. You will have a different outcome there, right? So just really see that. And so here you are dealing with a loss. Loss is important because we learn to actually love ourselves even more. And as such, just understand that whatever you have lost was not meant to be with you. Then we're going to look here at the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, right? And Jupiter is that I'm going out there. And so here, Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, is the harvest, is the manifestation, is the plenty. And here you get the lullaby, the 38. The 3 is Venus and the Empress. The 8 is strength and the Sun and Leo. And so the Sun now in Virgo is telling you, you find within the strength to be who you always want to be. And so here the 3 and the 8 is an 11. The inner teacher appears. Plus the 10, we have 3 times the 1. 3 times the 1 is you feel that you can empower yourself from your solar plexus into the unity that begins within you, and that maybe you come out of a lullaby. You come out of something that has put you into believing that only in this relationship you're going to be happy. But here the understanding is that you are, through 3 times the 1, are awakening to your own power. What is coming through your deck the Sun. And the Sun is saying you are having a rebirth because something is ending and this lullaby is over. And guess what? The 19, the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, and the 9, Virgo, Mercury, right? The messenger. When we calculate it together, we get the 10. You have a 10, 10 portal, and the 11. That's 4 times the 1. And 4 times the 1, it's like you are feeling that Virgo is telling you you can liberate yourself out of Taurus and Aries, because these are the patriarchs, right? This is the king and the pope, and they were controlling us. And now we're liberating ourselves from it. So 4 times the 1 is clearly saying observe, watch, and see in what lullaby you have been trapped, and now you're coming out of it. What is the Mother Peace Tarot saying? I love that one because it's round and I cannot control it how the card comes up. The 2 of Pentacles, which is Jupiter in Capricorn. And I spoke about Capricorn because Pluto, which came up here when we calculated the 9 of Virgo and the 14 of you together, the 23 came up, and the 20 is Pluto. The last judgment, the wake-up call, the one that says, are you realizing that here Jupiter in Capricorn is reverse, upside down? And so you see she's holding twins, and she has these 2 snakes connecting with the wheel, and something is letting you know you are needing to understand that Jupiter produces again and again an amount of money from Mother Earth, but something is reverse, and that Pluto, that is right now in Capricorn, is saying you do not want to get attached to an old pattern of yours, maybe something where you trapped in. And so you have 4 times the 1, and the 2 is left. Now 4 times the 1, that's the 4, the 2 is the 6, and we would have here the 6 as the self-love. If you have self-love, you let that person go, and you're even offering her your cup and say, I wish you all the best when you're leaving. The leaving is to the right, but you feel the leaving to the left. And so the message here is clear, right? Observe and watch how now, of course, the Wheel of Fortune, how Jupiter is telling you how you can love yourself. Yeah? And when you love yourself, then you understand that no one can really hurt you, that everything was an experience, a learning here in this dimension, because the 5 are the 5 senses, and the 5 is the Hierophant, right? Is the messenger, is the priest, is the teaching. And so just that you know, this card came up last time as well on the position of the moon. In your subconscious, you knew you were going through a rebirth, but now it's confirmed. This rebirth is sure. This rebirth is like, it's finished, it's over, right? You can move on. Then comes the 4 of Cups. And the 4 of Cups came last time as the 4 of Water from the deck of Leo. And so here we have the blending. The 14, the 4 is inside, and the 4 of Cups is Moon in Cancer. And so deep within you, you're collecting the water. And you are, when you collect from this 1 cup, getting the spiritual water from the mountains. And you see that the 14 is a 5 and the 4 is a 9. So Virgo is talking here to you because it's giving the light to the moon, and the moon is in your sign. So you are overcoming the Hierophant and the Emperor, the 2 patriarchs, to liberate yourself, to become a 9, to become a completion and realize that you are ready to let go, ready to liberate. What is coming from Virgo? Virgo is bringing you the Reina de Espadas. And this is Libra. Libra is the 7th zodiac sign. So the 7 is the emotional intelligence. As a crown chakra, right? We understand that when we are open in our crown, we reign clearly from a very higher perspective. So the 7 and the 4 is the 11 again. See that? The 11 and here the 5. 5-11 or 11-5 as a date. Observe and see if that works for you. And you see that this boredom has shifted into a realization that I have a really inquiring brain. I like to see how things go. And you see how here the 5 cups and the 4 cups is 9 cups. And 9 cups is telling you, again, you're coming into completion. It's almost like he turned around and he knew he had to come here to get from the holy water. And in that you are healed. And maybe a Libra has helped you to do just that. But again, remember the 11 is coming here. Now, what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing? It's the Shaman of Swords. Reverse. That's Aquarius. And Aquarius is the 11th zodiac sign. So again, you have here 11 and 11. And so like in the first station, you have 4 times the 1 here too. That's 8 times the 1. I mean, it's again a very strong message. Already in the first reading, I was like, oh my God, there's a message for me as well, right? And 4 times the 1 again is saying you can do it. You can free yourself. 1, 1, 1, 1, and the 5. I mean, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful, right? And so, of course, altogether here we have a 9. And on the position of the harvest, we had a 6, if we calculate those 4 ones together. So a 6 and now a 9. And the 9 is after self-love comes completion. The hermit that knows, I do not want to be controlled by no one. I am free. I know what am I doing is I am liberating myself from, I think, a relationship. And I have help through Libra. Now, in the next reading, we have Sun in Libra. So she is here to tell you, you can make up your mind. The 7, the crown chakra. And you have help of here Aquarius. He blows the information. He tells you, yes, you can do it. You're strong. So it's the Queen and the King of Swords. It's a couple here. It's a message. Then we look at the moon, and here you get the wailing tree, the number 59, the reconciliation. Now, the 18, our subconscious, right, and our feelings. We see how the grandmother is putting those seeds into her. And you see that the 5 and the 9 is the 14. And the 5 is left. The 18 is the 9. And the 9 and the 5 is the 14. You are coming up again and again. You need to learn to let go with grace, with love. Hand the cup even though she is leaving or he is leaving. The 5 is left here. What is coming again? The teaching lodge of the arrows. And this card came back then as well. And what is this? The Queen of Swords. So there is definitely a Libra here helping you to understand you are in the center of your world when you go into the 7th chakra, right? The 7 and the 5 is the 12. The 12 is the Hanged Man, hanging upside down, letting go of these feelings, these painful energies. And in that hanging upside down, because it's Neptune, you get the 3. And of course the 12 is the Wheel of Fortune and the moon, right? And the 2 is the moon, and the 12 is the 3. The new you will be born, like here in the lantern of Virgo, this child, right? That you can be born again because it's hanging upside down. And so the 3 is left here. The 3 and the 9 is the 12, and the 3 is left. What's coming from the mother piece is the 4 of Pentacles to the left. And the 4 of Pentacles to the left is saying, well, you already had 2 Pentacles facing down. This is Sun in Capricorn. 6 coins. 6 again, self-love. In how you see your self-worth. In how you see yourself at work. And so here we have this card facing Libra, facing the Queen of Swords. And you see here how she is closing the door, and she's almost like doing a ceremony because she has 4 coins. And usually 4 coins is saying you just have enough. But she's actually praying for more, and so she's actually connecting here with the 7. The 4 and the 7 is again an 11. 11, 5, 5, 11. See the dates? And of course the 9 gives itself up because the 7 and the 4 is an 11. So we leave the 11. Here the 59, the 5 leaves. And here we have the 9. The 9 and the 5, again the 14, the 5 is left. So 5, 11, 11, 5 is the message. The 5 cups, remember? So you're learning to really, really let go. Mars in Scorpio. Take action, not to be sucked into anything that makes you sad, right? And so it's really beautiful. It's like, again, the 11 here. The 11, now you have 10 times the 1. 10 times the 1, a new cycle. You need to understand that you're going to a new cycle. After Libra reading, we have Sun in Scorpio. That's when you get your new moon reading. And you're getting closer, deeper to yourself. And that's why the 4 of Pentacles is pointing to the left, is pointing here to Libra. In the next reading, you find the liberation, right? Because the Sun is in Libra. And so you see that, again, the messages are so strong. Oh my God, it's like, wow, I love it. It's really like crazy. So the last station, Sun in Virgo, is bringing you the rain. And in the German reading, this was the same card. The rain, right? The plant that is growing, the seed that is growing. And I have a German deck, and so I can actually use the position of the Sun here. Remember, you had the Sun, the rebirth, on the position of the Wheel of Fortune coming. And the Sun is saying, you can do it. And now the Sun is saying, you can do it. You can do it. It's the 35, the 3, the Venus, the Empress, the 5, the Hierophant, the 5. You can make out of you a new person. And you are ready to do that. Because here we have the 10 and the 8 is the 18. In your subconscious, you know, you can grow a new seed. You can grow a new understanding of yourself, not through the other, through yourself. Remember, you had 9 cups and you turned your back and you are opted to really take the holy water from the mountain and realize that you are able to be reborn, right? The rebirth sun is rebirth, and the rebirth is helping you through Virgo to understand I am here, the hermit. I know who I am deep within myself, and the 9 is left. So what is coming from Virgo? The Sota de Bastos. These are, of course, since it's Dali, Salvador Dali. He's a very creative, eccentric painter, an artist. The 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So here you are as a young person. And it's almost you looking at her and you're like, here this little plant has now become, here this wand. The 8 and the 3 is the 11 again. Oh my God. This is crazy. You have 10 wands and now another 2. You have 12 wands. Oh my God. That's like all 12 zodiac signs or the Hanged Man. You are renewing yourself. And it's crazy, right? And so the 11 and here the 1, then it's 13, the rebirth, 13 wands. This is amazing. I really like, wow. So 11 and the 10, 3 times the 1, that's 13 wands. 13 is death, is Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio. This is wow. I've never seen anything like this. 13 times the 1. You are coming back who you previously were. This flamboyant, look how chic he is. Of course, it's a time where we don't understand, but people get dressed like this again, right? Get inspired again. And so here you are understanding the 11, and the Mother Peace brings you the moon. In your sign is the 18. The 18 is a 9. 9/11. Oh my God. 9/11. Again, observe that this is a very special date, right? But 9 plus 3 times here. The ones is also the 12. The 12 is the 3. The Empress is left. But we leave 3 times here. The 1. So you have 13 times the 1, which is then the 4. You come out of this. You can come out of it because you did these 4 cups. You took the holy water. You cleansed yourself. You turned your back onto this. And you're like, no, I am really healing myself. And it's a 9. 9 cups. And the 18 is the 9, even though it's reverse. But she's standing here in the moon, in the full moon. And it's almost saying, you going down from the full moon to your new moon. And you need to let go. You really need to let go. And understand there is a rebirth, that the 13 times 1 is you are going to be reborn, because 13 times the 1 is the 4. And the 4 is saying you can do it. And so we have 3 times the 1 here and the 9. And that's, of course, Virgo. So now we could place this here. And now you see when you give her the cup and she's walking here towards you, it's almost like a cycle has closed, right? It's like when you give her the cup and you let her go lovingly, it's almost like you giving yourself this cup, because here you are. And she's walking towards your younger self, and that's when you both fell in love. And this is a beautiful story here that I can tell you. And I've never seen anything as profound as this reading. And so I'm really excited to share this with you. So see the deeper meaning here, and see this, and see that you are protected. by the Ashtar Shiran, because when you look, there are 9 dots. Here are 6 lines, 6 lines, and the 9 is you, right? And so you are protected because you were doing it in a beautiful way. Usually this is quite sad, but you take your strength and offer her your heart and let her go. And then you turned around and you got this big cup or bowl, and now you get the water, the holy water, and this is the protection. You are protected. You are understanding the 9. This is you, the 9-9. And I just feel like, oh my God, what a beautiful reading. And I am really like flashed because I never seen 13 once in one reading. And so it's very clear that today is a very special day for you. And so I hope I see you in the next reading, because you had twice the Queen of Swords, Libra. And so Libra is going to help you in the next reading to see how you point your focus up, right? Offering yourself up and learning to overcome a deep sorrow, right? Here, also a deep lullaby, remember? And you are awakening. You are really awakening, because we also had the 4 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups, a 4-4 here, right? And the 4, you know, is the Emperor. You can do it. But you also had here 6 Pentacles, and 6 Pentacles is, of course, self-love in the physical. Find your self-love, find who you are, and awaken, and just simply become stronger. So I hope I see you in the next reading, right? Like I said, Libra is here. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.